Welcome to the Lauren Blackwell channel. Today I want to talk about Candace Owens. Is anybody surprised that Candace Owens is being sued? I don't think anybody is surprised, to be honest. Everyone, at least most people, are asking how come it took so long for this lawsuit to arrive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, which you probably do by now, but Brigitte Macron has filed a lawsuit at the Delaware Superior Court against Candace because Candace, according to Brigitte, has been defaming her and tarnishing her reputation. This has been going on for months now, and what Brigitte is referring to is the fact that Candace has been talking about Brigitte being truly male and not female, but pretending to be female. And Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron have been having to deal with this in the press. How do you get away from such an accusation? You can't. This is a huge accusation and not the sort of thing that will just die down. Candace is not letting it die down. She's been talking about this for many months now. At first, when she started talking about this, a lot of people thought she was crazy, but she just kept at it and she kept pulling out all of these receipts according to her, and she is so sure about what she is saying. Even though there's been no DNA testing, she's just been looking at the genealogy and the family tree basically of Brigitte, and she has used that, and she is so convinced that she is right. According to Brigitte, this is not true, and she's not related to Emmanuel Macron, which is one of the claims that Candace is making. So Brigitte is saying that she is not related to Emmanuel Macron. She was not born male, and everything that Candace is saying is untrue, and Candace needs to be sued. So here she is filing a lawsuit against Candace. This is picking up a lot of steam, and a lot more people are starting to talk about it, and I feel very bad for Brigitte. I feel bad for Emmanuel as well, but specifically for Brigitte, because my goodness, how do you deal with something like this? This is such a huge accusation for someone to make at a public figure. It's not as if they can hide. They have to be in the public eye. They have to continue their work, and to be faced with this kind of allegation, I don't think, or I don't know of any public figure as big as they are, as well known around the world as they are, that has had to face this magnitude of accusation. This is huge, and they cannot get away from it. According to Brigitte, the way that she met Emmanuel Macron is that they met while Emmanuel was in high school, and Brigitte was I believe, the drama teacher, and that was where they met around that time. It's kind of vague because a student with the teacher, a high school student with the teacher, it does not sound good. She did not go into specifics from what I have heard. I have not seen like the absolute specifics as far as dates, like how old each person was at the time. There is a 24-year gap between Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte. So, I mean, how old was he when she met him? And it's just very, like, there's a lot of murky things around the story of Brigitte and Emmanuel, which I don't want to peddle any of this because it's such a difficult thing already for them to have to deal with. So I don't want to add to it by going into the story. Honestly, that's not even the point of my video. The point of my video is it really necessary for Candace to bring as much eyes onto this situation as she has? Like, I just don't understand how what she is doing moves the needle forward for any society. I understand that lying is wrong, and if she is misrepresenting herself, as in if Brigitte is misrepresenting herself, then that would be wrong and quite serious. But what if she's not misrepresenting herself? What if she's truly trans? You know? And then you're just like revealing her innermost secret. I don't know that I agree with what Candace is doing. If this is some detail or some news that she has come across and I don't know, I just feel like this is one of the things that you either keep to yourself or you report it to the appropriate authorities. I don't know who those would be, but I don't know that you should bring it to the news and just continue to keep like drawing more attention to it, because what is she hoping to gain? Like, what wrong is she hoping to fix here? Because what if Brigitte is truly trans and she wants to live as a woman? This will make it very difficult for her to do. And since when is it okay to drag someone out of the closet if they're in the closet? I thought that was a no-no. I thought that was something we don't do anymore. Like, initially it was like you can talk about someone and point at them and let people know, hey, look at this person, is not truly so and so, they're actually this and that. But now it's like it's truly frowned upon and people don't really do that anymore. So why is she doing this? Why is Candace so comfortable doing this? Perhaps, to play devil's advocate, perhaps Candace is looking at it from the point of view of, you guys are leaders and you should be honest with the people about what you are. And if you have a questionable relationship set up, then you should tell people what is going on. Maybe that's where Candace is coming from. Or is she trying to reveal them as liars? And just that, I mean, who thinks that all these political leaders are 100% truth tellers? I mean, is there anybody that believes that? Everybody knows that politicians have a lot to hide about a lot of things. Nobody is here thinking that they're all just honest people walking around. So I just don't see the point of this. It's just a very nasty news that Candace has just kept at, and I don't know what she plans to gain from this. I really don't know. But she's being sued now, and she has quite the lawsuit on her hands, and she seems ready to tackle it. She does not seem to be worried at all. And I don't really blame her, because I think, in a sense, this might be what Candace wants. Because due to this lawsuit that has been filed in Delaware, this will open up this conversation and the case to discovery. So now there's a lot that has to be revealed by Brigitte and Emmanuel in order for the courts to be able to determine if Candace was right or wrong. And I don't know that they would want that. Isn't that the opposite of what they want? Like, was it a good idea for them to file this lawsuit? Did they talk to anybody to understand that this might end up forcing them to reveal a lot more information about their family and their lineage that they may not want? Personally, I think that maybe they should have continued to ignore Candace. Because if they had continued to ignore her, and even though other news channels are starting to ask the same question, what if they just never answered the question? She's in her 70s. I mean, she's already old. She just needs to ignore them for a little while longer, and then I don't know. But I think that this lawsuit was a bad idea, at least for Brigitte, because now they're giving Candace what she wants, which is for them to reveal a lot more about their history that does not look good. Because Brigitte herself said that she first met Emmanuel in high school. I mean, that part, it does not look good because they have a 24-year age gap between them. So how are they going to tell that story? So this is a can of worms that no one should have opened, but Candace kept at it until now. The Macrons are dancing to her tune, and this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Candace has revealed a lot of, I guess, receipts, you can say, to prove what she is saying. There's a lot of similarities that people are seeing. Candace is basically saying that Brigitte is actually the brother herself. Not that she has a brother, but she is the brother. And Brigitte is saying, no, that's just my brother. I'm not him. And there's been a lot of questionable photos, like with Brigitte in a bikini, that has been leaked. And it's like, I don't know. I feel bad for them. It's just so embarrassing. And then the other thing that happened, I think a month ago, where Brigitte was being a little physical with Emmanuel Macron, that was caught on video. And it's like, it makes you wonder what in the world is going on with this family. There's something going on there. But on the other hand, how are you supposed to act when you have this kind of a microscope on you? I should also state that when Brigitte said that she met Emmanuel in high school, they waited for some time before they started a relationship. I believe that's how the story goes. So they did not meet in high school and then they just started a relationship. She said they waited for some time. So who knows, maybe they waited until he became an adult, in which case there is no issue there if they're both consenting adults. But that is still disgusting because it means she was attracted to him when he was still a minor. I don't know what the laws are over there, but a high schooler, that is disgusting. On Candace's part, if she believes that Brigitte is faking, then I guess she can feel justified. But I think there is a way to go about things, and I don't think she handled this very well. I think she handled this in a very reckless manner, especially since she does not have concrete proof. She just does not have concrete proof. You can be 100% sure of something and follow a pattern and it can all make sense to you, but at the end of the day, you could still be wrong. So what if she's wrong? What if Candace is wrong? How do you take back the amount of damage that this has caused to the Macrons? How can you fix that, Reputation is not something that can just be fixed that easily when it's damaged. So what if, okay, so there may be, you can argue that there's a 99% chance that Candace is right, but what if that 1% turns out to be what it is? What if it's not what Candace thinks? This is a lot of damage to their reputation that Candace cannot fix. I also want to say this. I think that Candace has been feeling very gassed up recently because I don't know what made her think that she can take on the ruler of a country. These people are not just out here by themselves. They have a lot of connections. They have serious connections. He is the leader of an entire country. He has much deeper pockets than Candace has, and I don't understand what she thinks she is doing by the way she's going about this. Now, Candace is a journalist, and I don't want to say that she should not do her journalism. What I am saying is she needs to go about this in a way where it would not result in this level of response from them by way of a lawsuit. I think that if they really want to go after Candace, they can really get to her. They can stop her work. They can make things very difficult for her. After all, Candace herself said that the Macrons are being controlled by the FBI. So what, is Candace going to take on the FBI? She has to be realistic about what she's able to accomplish and be more strategic and not be so loud and reckless, especially when she does not have concrete proof. So even if her heart is in the right place, she still needs to be careful with the way she moves. I still do not think that people should be dragged out of the closet. I mean, even the French people are not going after this as thoroughly as Candace. I mean, they're starting to ask more questions now, but is it possible that it never occurred to them before Candace got hold of this? It probably did, and they just did not make a big deal of it. So perhaps Candace should not have opened this can of worms. But it's too late now, and the lawsuit is here, and they are going to have to figure this out somehow. I have a strong feeling that Brigitte is going to drop the lawsuit at some point, especially when she is requested to submit DNA and to reveal a lot more about her family. Because even if what Brigitte is saying is true, it will be insulting for her to submit all of that information just because someone accused her of something. You know, like as a leader, no journalist is going to bully me into submitting DNA and just revealing my entire family tree if I don't want to. So I would think that she probably feels the same way. She's not going to want to do that. She might be forced to drop this lawsuit because Candace does not look like she's backing down. So we'll see how this goes. That's all I have on this. I wish them both the best. In the grand scheme of things, though, between loans, health issues, bills, medical bills, students, loans, school fees, and all of this, I just don't think that this should have been priority for anybody really at this time. With all the wars going on, I mean, there's a lot that could have been priority. Not this particular thing, but what do I know? I really do feel bad though if she's just trying to live her life as a trans woman and all of this mess now is going to follow her. Well, that's all I have. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next one. Bye guys.